All right. Hold on. Let me share the feed. Just want to share the feed for a second. Hi, everyone. Hey, Alexa, play me a song about fucking shit up.
Here's a station you might like, 80s Pop on Amazon Music.
Good song, huh?
She's a good girl, loves her mom, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too.
'Cause I'm free. Oh my God, did I sing at the wrong time?
It's a long day, living in the city,
Not feeling beautiful, but thank you. I may be wearing pajamas under this top because I had an interview.
Don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart.
I am stressed. That's it. See, Alexa knows what I wanted to hear. No, keep doing it. Stop listening. Alexa, continue. Play the song, Alexa.
Sorry, something went wrong.
I'm finished my cigarette that keeps going out for some reason. Get off my lawn. Get off my music. I don't use my YouTube a lot. And there's a reason for that. I have not been able to smoke one cigarette today, like in full. They all keep going out. All right, Alexa, stop the music. Alexa, tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve was on Saturday.
No, it's not.
December 24th,
Alexa, stop. Your calendar's off. So let's, give me a sec. All right, let's talk J6 because tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Today I had an interview. Well, tomorrow actually is the interview, but tomorrow is January 6th. So I just wanted to get some thoughts out. It's Christmas Eve for me and a bunch of other old calendar Orthodox Christians. And I'm actually quite taken back with this year so far. We're 5 days in and we're seeing unprecedented things happen. And tomorrow, as you all know, my case is being conferenced along with other important cases on that day. So we have NSO versus WhatsApp, which is the Q technologies. And that's very important in regards to holding manufacturers accountable for the way the usage of something is done, et cetera, et cetera. I think they're just butthurt because they got caught. Not NSO, but others. There's also the Brunson case, which a lot of people have poo-pooed on, and I'm so proud that they attempted anything. In this day and age, we have so many people that are so pompous at, talking down to people, because if it's not their idea, it's BS, because they're important and they know best. And watching all of this disheartening energy coming out is terrible. It's completely terrible when we have a crisis in our nation. Gosh, I hate this damn stool because I have to jump on it because I'm super tall and stuff. God, so graceful. So I feel that, we need to be applauding anyone that is attempting to challenge the status quo. Will all these cases fail? Will NSO fail? Will I fail? Well, that's up to the Supreme Court of the United States. And the only thing that we can do is wait for a Christmas miracle. I was speaking with my attorney today, and let me push it back so I'm not totally in your faces. I tend to do that where I come in. It's because I have a small forehead. If I had a big forehead, it would look like an airport runway. So anyway, I think I'm flaunting my small forehead. So I was talking with my attorney today, and I was thinking, so what's next? We're at this conference. Now what? We've already made history. We, the people, made history. And where people, usually stop. I was asked that question and I didn't really answer it because I didn't want to sound cocky, right? But the difference between a winner and a loser is that the winner was a loser that tried one more time. And that's one thing that we should all be focused on. You should never give up, especially when you know you're right. You should be relentless, right? And we have been conditioned in this day and age to be completely passive. Like the people on Wall-E, you know which ones I'm talking about, right? The little fat people with bones that look like jelly sucking out of a straw. Sometimes I feel like that myself too. You know which one. It's like everyone's waiting for somebody else to do shit. And when they should be jumping in together. For me, I'm actually quite disappointed in everything that I see. The media is not reporting news as it should be. I saw that, what was it, maybe a week ago, that President Trump shared an article by the Gateway Pundit, who, by the way, employs child predator Ali Akbar, also the reason why they're coming after President Trump. Anyway, they wrote an article saying, the Supreme Court in Georgia found that it's not general grievance doctrine if citizens want to hold their elected officials accountable. And I remember having this conversation with my listener base in November, and I'm like, guys, go take that, use that as precedent, and then have your Supreme Court in your state make the same ruling with precedent. We talked about this months ago. We're not following the right things to be able to understand what's going on in the background. And everyone's like, oh, I'm so disparaged and I'm so upset and this is just terrible. And it's like, it's not. It's going as fast as you contribute to it, where your energy is on, where the support falls behind. Right now everyone's in this whole, McCarthy, this, McCarthy, like nobody gives a shit. McCarthy's a tool. All of them are a tool. The fact that guy Roy came out from the RNC and said, what was his quote? The people don't select who we put on ballots. We do. They just give us the money and they invest in us. We make the decisions. Nobody else does. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound very American, does it? And hence this case. While people trolled, what they didn't understand is I thought really, and I didn't fight myself. It was the campaign team, like these heroes from Ohio Like, these were the people of Ohio, right? They literally busted their ass for their state. We got on the ballot. We had a fight to get on the ballot. There's actually a decision that says that the Secretary of State clearly broke the law and no repercussions. They fought really hard because we were trying to bring light to a situation. One situation is, obviously, we've talked about all these organizations that should be coming out in regards to elections, like, way later. But for now, think of it this way. JFK had once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, right? Obama copied him, Clinton copied him, they all copied this statement, because it is the covenant of the United States of America. We do not expect everyone to have the same talents. We don't expect everyone in our nation to succeed. We don't expect, that everyone's going to have the same outcome. But what we do promote, and what this nation is founded for, is that everyone will have the equal opportunity. And so when running as an independent, right, obviously I was at a disadvantage. They clearly targeted me with illegal actions, and everyone was silent on it. And I still fought, where I should have been like, well, it's done. I'm toast. Towels in. They beat me. We didn't stop. We just kept going. And so, yes, it was a hallelujah dropping a lawsuit into the Supreme Court, just a couple days before the elections. Yes. And many, did you think you win? Well, there's always that possibility, but not really. I mean, I was only on the ballot for like 40 days. I was omitted from every single voter list, right, where they detailed every single one. And then the Ohio Supreme Court, which is supposedly the highest court in Ohio, did the most atrocious thing. They're like, oh, well, the rule says you need to find 4 people in every county. So that's 4 people in 88 counties. I'm supposed to find their independents that will sign on to allow me to observe the elections. Like, why do I have to do cartwheels and jump through hoops? I got on that ballot with 5 times more signatures, with no corporate backing, and you're making me jump through more hoops? That's not correct. That doesn't sound like equal opportunity to me. And so the Supreme Court of the United States pretty much has a clear and open, constitutional crisis on their hands. And as noted, it says, if anyone in the future that's an independent, or I myself decide to run for another position as an independent, they'll be in the same constitutional crisis, jumping through hoops, being treated differently, and not allowed to observe the elections. Now, for all those loser idiots out there that don't understand how elections are run, when you're elected, you get to appoint election observers. In the state of Ohio, we actually have legislation that says that you can observe the counting of the votes. Well, like my lawyer always says, how are you going to observe the counting of the votes if it's in a black box? You can't. And there is a crisis that we have within our own state laws. And I'm pretty sure there's other states that have the same type of law. I'm okay with people making assumptions, because then they show that they really don't understand what's going on or what processes are. And, the one thing that we have learned is that to eat an elephant, you have to do it one bite at a time. And this bite, I am praying, will help future candidates, forever, to be able to run without the need of corporate backing. And that, if you want to run in your community for school board or mayor or city council or county commissioner, whatever it is, that you don't have to be Republican or Democrat, that you could just be you, and you bust your ass and you get those votes and you represent your community. I mean, that is what elections is about. It's not about confetti and big, balloons. That was in the 70s and the 80s when they started to hoodwink us. Hey, we just got rid of gold back stuff, but don't worry, look how amazing this is. We got confetti, and look at our spiffy suits, and we're amazing, and you all want to be like us. It's like, what's that guy named Billy Long, the auction guy? He's like the most detested person in his community, yet he ran for office and had a seat for like forever. Billy Long. Disgusting human being. disgusting. Just, people should be looking at that. I'm just saying. He was in auctions. Speaking of auctions, don't they auction a lot of things off on websites? So anyway, having said that, tomorrow, the question of equal opportunity when American citizens decide to run is on the table. The fact that the Attorney General of Ohio, said, oh, this is meh and it's frivolous. It's like, look, moot is for that race. It's not moot going forward. And this is a constitutional crisis that affects every single American citizen. So, done. So I don't know how this goes. Like tomorrow, like my lawyer says that tomorrow they conference, because I've never been in that situation where they're hearing something where the other party's like, yeah, I'm not responding. This is stupid. Like, okay, AG Yost, who takes money from Wexner and now became the head of the AGs, kind of like how in Ohio, the Secretary of State of Ohio is also the head of the Secretary of State. But, they're all great people. And they all take money from Wexner, who got a deal by Barr, right? So that he doesn't get rolled up with Epstein. But, but now the Supreme Court of the United States, like, what do? He says they'll conference and see, if they want another briefing. And I'm like, so like oral arguments, but the Attorney General of Ohio can't have one because he said he's not responding and that it's frivolous. So if they move forward, like, are they going to suddenly be like, oh yeah, my bad, we want to talk? I mean, what are they going to talk? Hey, Constitution doesn't apply if you're not a Republican or a Democrat. Like, they have no argument. Hence the response. That's my point. It wasn't considered frivolous because they have no argument. What are they going to say? Yeah, equal opportunity all aside from elections. It's like, yo, that's the whole reason we have equal opportunity. So, it's happening. I'm excited. I'm nervous because this is going to dictate our future elections when we're gone. Regardless, the amazing Ohio campaign team made history. They literally challenged to make the law of the land. And for that, they deserve the world. They busted their tushies for it. And, I just got thrown in as like the front person because I don't care. I don't give up. And the thing is, they didn't give up. They were like, no. And that's exactly the attitude every American should have. We are people that are supposed to be self-governing, yet we don't want to work. I see a lot of people saying, oh, it's like so over. And it's like, well, what did you do? Did you at least like make a phone call, send an email? I don't know, get together with your buddies while you're drinking beer and throwing that bean thing in the yard. Do you guys discuss of who's running your city? Do you know who's running your city? Do you have any idea what they look like? Well, then stop talking because you can't complain if you're not doing anything. And that's the thing. We need to be focused on the things that matter and little things. Because I see so many complaining pants. And, I know I come rough around the edges because that's the way truth is. It really doesn't care. And the best Greek proverb is clear skies do not fear thunder. Instead, we're like, bring it. So when you've got nothing, your intentions are pure and like a clear sky, a canvas, nothing can stop you. And I hope for me, a person that has been dragged through the mud by criminals in office, right, has been probed, which is another funny thing I just wanted to say. The funniest things that I see is when I see people on the internet telling the world who I am. Oh, look what I discovered. And it's like, all right, let's just take a stop for a second. So I actually gave testimony in regards to shit during the Obama era. That's number one. I've done official whistleblowing things, but I'm not considered a bona fide whistleblower because I don't have the protections under the law. So I did that while in the public eye without telling people, hey, I sat down with a bunch of people and just gave shit. That's number one. Number two, I was investigated. Probably still am because I turned up to Mayor Giuliani's house after he was raided. But I was investigated not once, but twice by the feds, NSA, DNI, CIA. One, because the Attorney General of North Dakota, who killed himself after he was getting indicted, by the way, who used to have close relations with Obama. Let's just put it that way. Limp-wristed friends. They probed me. They were wiretapping my house. They were watching everything. They even deployed a big, cyber and localized, psychological attack. Like I said, I couldn't even go out to the supermarket without some random people throwing shit at me. And I'm like, why are they being so mean? Like, I'm just trying to help them. People that I don't know. And you know what the best thing is that when you do good for the people that spit on you, that shit comes back to you 100 million times in blessings. Do not ever stop because someone's mean to you. Keep going when you know you're right. So they probed me during a period of time from, I don't know, December 1st, 2017, up until, well, I don't know how open the warrant is. Obviously, then I discovered that my family and I were victims of crimes, and my ex was a foreign person, obviously having foreign communications, which I did in 2017 too. So I'm almost sure that this phone has a FISA warrant on it. And that's okay, because I've got nothing to hide. So after that happened, and I reported the crime, and we went through the whole criminal court system, persecuting. I was probed again. So for all you out there on the internet that are going to come up and tell the world who I am, you have to remember the Attorney General used the power of the whole federal government. CIA, FBI, DHS, all his state officials violated FINRA, my civil rights, with 2 judges allowing that to happen. And all he came up with was a civil suit over shit that didn't happen. Again, what does that tell you about me? So when I see it, I get very upset. I get very, very upset because I'm like, are there people that are actually listening to this person without looking at the facts? So let me say, so the desperate housewife somewhere in bumfuck Ohio that ran as a Republican but only got 36 votes knows me better than the feds times 2 with malicious intent to entrap me as well. So it's like, that means I am as clean as a whistle if they couldn't trap me for a crime. Oh, which, by the way, if they even found me stealing an orange or anything during the period of time of 2017 to whenever, well, they can't use that shit because those were illegal warrants. That's another thing. So again, anyone out there saying that they're amazing and I'm going to stop. They already found everything they needed to know. Okay. You're not better than millions and millions of dollars of resources crawling up my ass and my family's ass. Thank you very much. So having said that, I needed to say that because I didn't want to be bitchy tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve and I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm stressed out, but I'm excited. Stressed out because I have like a ton of doctor's appointments. That's why I thought I'd do YouTube today, because I can't do my show because I have to go get testing done today and next week before my surgery. So I'm a little bit, But having said that, this is one of the coolest mugs, right? My birthstone is a coffee bean. So J6, here's another thing. So this documentary has been in the works for a while. And there needs some fine tweaking, which will be a couple weeks because I'm also going to surgery. So I'm sorry about that. I really wanted it released today, actually. But since it's not coming out today, people are going to be really pissed. Now, you guys saw the extended trailer, right, on my YouTube channel. This one's going to be, it's like the clip notes to what you're going to see in the documentary. And let me see how the wording, hold on, because it was very well worded. And I was like, damn, that's a good phrase. Hold on. Oh my God, showing my age, taking off my glasses. I'm looking. Where is it? Hold on. I'm going to find it. Well, one of the people that are stitching this together said, I'm actually afraid that people will jump from buildings and run into streets confused about who they trusted after this. You know, and there's going to be a lot of hate going around. A lot of hate. And I'm ready for it because truth is never welcomed. And I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. I'm like looking to see what I can say. I don't know how I'm going to say this. I'm just going to say that. The comment from one of the people that put it together said that, you know, we might have people jumping off buildings, like trusting who? And what if I told you J6 was an operation that was in the works since President Trump came down the escalator? And no, after he came down, and that it resonated. The Russia hoax is just, J6 is a continuation of Russia hoax. And the reason it happened was for petty shit. It's always one person that fucks shit up because what is that? What is that saying about ego? Oh man, I used to have a big ego. I mean, I used to destroy nations for like on a Tuesday. So, ego. You know, when you think you're the best, it's like, I'm like, you know, I'm seriously considering like putting an anthology together about serial fucktards. You know, it's like in Dexter, you would see he was collecting blood samples. Other people get panties. Other people get tattoos. You know? It's like sometimes you think about it and you're like, did all of this, you let all of this happen because you were butthurt that you were not crowned? Stop. And I'm not talking about Hillary. And so, so the trailer is going to be fire. We were going back and forth on clips yesterday. Only because there's going to be a delay. But I'm trying to read the comments too. Oh my gosh, thank you for the thingamajiggies, the stickers. Oh, stickers. You know, here's a question that I want from my audience. I would like to ask my audience to contact me on Telegram. You guys can contact one of the admins, either PsyOps or Miguel. And if you ever like gave me a sticker, subscribe to my YouTube channel, between, I don't know, like May of 2020 and October of 2020, I'd highly appreciate your communications. And make sure you have the receipt. I'm trying to wink. Can you see it? So in other words, tomorrow's pretty interesting. Now let's talk speaker. So a lot of people are pissed at President Trump. I'm McCarthy. And then, you know, Lauren got into it with Hannity. I remember pointing out the CIA pin he was wearing, right? So many times. But, you know, you always have faith. See, here's the problem. People are like, Trump's so dumb. He like promoted McConnell. And it's like, yeah, if he didn't, would you have been paying attention to Cocaine Turtle Mitch? Obviously not. You know, sometimes, or how's this? Would you have known that Psychological operators are actually super insane. If I hadn't embraced Bergie and brought him to you to see that he's just a thief, pretty much. He even robbed the people that were like, yeah, let's hate Tory. Like literally credit card theft or whatever, fraud. Anyway, sometimes you have to see it. So if he's saying McCarthy, he could be like, yo, pay attention, look at McCarthy. And you're all like, no. And it's like, but no one's paying attention to the fact that the World Economic Forum from 2022 had a page up, right? Saying, oh, look, Kevin McCarthy is the Speaker of the House. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? This is days before the vote. How is he, the actual, oh my God, did my gum come out? No, it didn't. Why did I think it did? Anyway, the actual, lost my train of thought because I thought I had my gum in my mouth. WEF had a page in 2022. Trump's telling you focus on McCarthy. You're not looking at the time. He already moved in. No vote, yet he moved in and has a page on the World Economic Forum. Would you have seen that if Trump didn't draw attention to him? Absolutely not. So I believe that a lot of people think like me. Smart people do. We should always offer redemption. So one plausible idea is that by nominating Kevin McCarthy, you're giving him the ability to redeem himself. Why not? Even Lucifer can be redeemed. Why can't Kevin McCarthy? So that's one. Number two is Jean Lachon to buy us some time. I mean, wasn't it Matt Gaetz who said that he was going to nominate President Trump, but now he's not? Or maybe he will. Who knows? But then I'm like, I don't want President Trump. You know what President Trump has to do? Dry run for VP. And I know a lot of people want Carrie Lake. I'm like, no. No. She needs to stay governor. She needs to stick to Arizona. And they don't have to be part of the House. I was thinking like Alveda King, she's a fantastic speaker, Dr. King, also would unify our nation. And you don't think she's got the chop for VP? Make her Speaker of the House. I would love to see the mainstream media and the Democrats trash Martin Luther King's niece, who's the kindest, softest, and huge advocate of life. I would love to see that. The mainstream media heads would explode, right? Because they're like, shit, do we throw MLK under the bus? Everyone's going to figure out MLK was a Republican? It'd be like, it would be such a shit show. I'm just saying, I would love that too. And while everyone's like, Jim Jordan, I'm like, guys, how long has Jim Jordan been in office? Thank you. But let me guess, now he's going to make change. But Tori, it's the system. So we have to work within the system. Yes. It doesn't mean we have to have system tools. We can use our own. So if President Trump was speaker, then it would be the biggest pants pulling, and then the Democrats would probably take it because we got a lot of Republicans that don't like President Trump. In a sense, we'd be able to separate the wheat from the chaff, but the Democrats would win. So, but Alveda King would put them in a box. That's who I would go for. Why are we picking politicians that have been in office for like forever? Isn't being in Congress a 2-year term? What the fuck are they doing there 20 years? Wake up. Wake up, slaves. Just because you don't see your chains doesn't mean they're not there. That's the thing. And yes, Jim Jordan can redeem himself. Of course he can. Everybody can. Lucifer can. That's not the point. The point is you want to flip it. You want to shred the script. There you go. You bring outsiders. You bring outsiders and you make the change you want with the people that you know will not listen to you, because that's the one thing. As a leader, as a president or as a leader, and I say this in everything. I used to lead a ton of teams. Obviously, I interacted zero with them. Why? Because that's the point. As a leader, you want them to challenge you. As a leader, you want them to give their opinion. You don't want them to be obedient little bitches, right? That's the way it works. So that's how it is. Most of these people that are in office don't even work. Like, they're not doing anything. They're giving you snippets of alleged work. You know what? For those of you that have extra cash, I think I have to renew mine because mine expired and I didn't buy it again. But there's this website called Legistorm. I urge all of you to sign up for that bitch. Here's the thing. They say that they're a nonpartisan group, but you know what article they posted? Oh, 118th Congress is the whitest one of them all so far. It's like, tell me how you're nonpartisan when the bitch writing the article is identified as a Democrat. But having said that, it is a great resource to see your Congress and your Senate's financials. It is a great resource to see who their staffers are and who works for them. It is a great resource to see staffers from one person being legislative counsel, moving on to chief of staff in somebody else's office. This is how you pay attention to what's going on, their moves and how they're moving and who's moving where. Legistorm is a tool that hardly anybody uses. It's almost like the Enquirer for DC, but it's run by Democrats and they pretend to be impartial, but they can't lie. So all the financials are there. You know what I noticed? That there's a lieutenant general in Congress in Michigan. Did you guys know that? And he looks super stiff. And I'm like, I wonder how many lieutenant generals are actually congressional members in weird states. I'm just saying. And when I saw him, I was like, damn, you look pretty hard. I think he was a jarhead. I'm not sure. First congressional district. So I'm just saying these are fun facts, and you can spend the day reading everything you need to know about your Senate and your congressman. You can look at their financials. Oh, and you know what the fun part is? You live in that state. So if they say, oh, they own the pink house on the street, and you're like, nah, bitch, you own the pink one and the red one and that your assets are all wrong. Well, that's how you nail them. You then send letters and you're like, hey, I don't think they're reporting correctly. I know for a fact. Boom. So check out Legistorm. It's called Legistorm, Legistorm. I couldn't believe what I read. The whitest Congress in history. I just want to go back in time to, to when there were no Black Americans in Congress and compare, because that sounds really crazy. So it's just dumb. And you can see how the staff, oh wait, the funniest one, the best one to look at is Pelosi staffer and everybody that exited. Look at where their staff went to work. I know everyone's talking about FBI, and do you know that 99% of the staffers have been tapped from across the river? Most of the dirt we get on people like Schiff and Pelosi are from their own damn staffers. How do you think I know where Schiff goes? Staffers. They're all agents. Some of them have been put under training. Most of them are clandestine agents that then get propped up to be the perfect candidate as a staffer and make shit for money while they share a house with, a shit ton of other people that get shit money to kiss ass and run coffee and do all the work for people like Adam Schiff, whose eyes bug out so much, I'm pretty sure he's got diabetes. Because he looks like a Doberman stuck in a Chihuahua's body. And it's a Doberman with no teeth, right? Of course. All he does is yip, yip, yip. But if you take a look at the staffers that leave, I've talked about this before, your chief of staffs, your legislative councils are just staffers. They all go into companies like, I don't know, like Twitter and Facebook and food companies, Amazon, all those things. See, this is how you pay attention. And this is how you learn. Now, I wanted to do my show today on circadian and time loops, but I can't. So I will be doing that mañana as I anxiously wait for the Supreme Court to say something. And maybe I could take some questions because I can see. Why does it look like she's on a loop? How am I on a loop? Yeah, there's an app, but the website's better for Legistorm. Oh, Alvita. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see. We can only request and we can ask and we can be like, yo, ever thought of this? I got to take that call. So I'm going to let you guys go. Much love.